All right, welcome back to the channel. Deontay Wilder accepts a new member on his team, or at least that they're meeting together and talking about how they can prepare, how Deontay Wilder can prepare for Tyson Fury 2, and that is Tyson Fury 3. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the third fight. And that guy is Big George Foreman of George Foreman Grill and the former world champion. Let's talk about whether or not that's going to make any difference whatsoever, man, whether that's a good thing in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, man. All right, so Deontay Wilder loses to Tyson Fury via seventh round TKO. Tyson Fury won the fight, pillar to post, pretty much. Did what he wanted to do, did what he said he was going to do. He's going to grab Deontay Wilder. He's going to rough Deontay Wilder and stop Deontay Wilder. And hey, man, he said what he's going to do. He missed the round, but he did what he said he's going to do. Now Deontay Wilder's got to regather himself, and he's exercised the rematch clause, so he's got to figure out what he's going to do. So he obviously, once he lost, there's a bunch of people that came out saying that they wanted to help Deontay Wilder and how they could help Deontay Wilder beat Tyson Fury. Now, it's no mystery whatsoever that there has been talk in the boxing world for years about Deontay Wilder's technical deficiencies, how, he doesn't have the best footwork in the world, how he doesn't do this, that, and the other thing, as a one-trick pony, all that good stuff. People saying what he needs to do here, what he needs to do there. And Deontay Wilder has, in the past, thinking he's taking it all with a grain of salt because, hey, man, how much criticism can you give a guy that is 40-0 with 39 knockouts, a guy that is reigned as a heavyweight champion for 10 title defenses, got an Olympic bronze medal. I think it's reasonable for a guy in Deontay Wilder's circumstance to say, hey, I think I'm doing okay, right? But boxing's a funny thing, man. It's a funny thing. You're at the top of the world one day, and then you're in the bottom of the cellar the next day, with the emotional roller coaster that goes on with these being undefeatable, then losing, and then now you're sad. Now you gotta, you're way down. Now you gotta build yourself back up. All of this, falling and redemption stories just replete in boxing, man. The ups and downs, the yin and yang of the whole thing, of the win and the loss, right? So Deontay Wilder's now, without his belt, looking at a rematch clause. There's a bunch of people coming out saying what they can do to help him, and they see that if you fix this, if you fix that right, then you'll put yourself in a better situation. So for him to sit down and listen to George Foreman, I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the long term for Deontay Wilder. I think now there's a couple reasons why I think talking to George Foreman is a good thing for Deontay Wilder. Number one, George Foreman is a similar fighter in that he really, really does relied on his punching power to get him through fights. Muhammad Ali, before he fought George Foreman, called him the washerwoman. And, the Foreman, there is some similarities between Deontay Wilder's fight with Tyson Fury and Ali's with Foreman. Not that Tyson Fury is some Ali, because he's not, because he's just not. But because there is the aura, a fighter that got stripped of this aura of invincibility, right? And that's, the George Foreman, and psychologically dealing with being able to really intimidate people and feel like you're going to walk through people, but then coming back into a career where that's kind of been stripped from you. So I think psychologically for Deontay Wilder, conversations with George Foreman could be very, very, very good, man, because it'll get his mind right on what you need to do in the next phase of your career. Now, I do believe with George Foreman, after he lost to Muhammad Ali, got kind of, got depressed and, felt like, he had lost his whole identity from being the heavyweight champion of the world. And, I think that it wound up, I can't remember who beat him, whether it was Ron Lyle or Leotis Martin. Can't remember who the next guy that beat George Foreman before George Foreman went into the 10-year retirement. But George Foreman took George Foreman a long time to come out of that, and then he came out of it in the mid to late 1980s. But he had been retired for I think at least 10 years out of the ring to come back and win another world championship. So I think that George Foreman, as far as helping him get his head around that whole thing, could be very, very beneficial to Deontay Wilder. As far as like the other people, I mean, I do believe that it would definitely help Deontay Wilder to get some more wrinkles in his game. But I think the most important thing, if he's going to go right back into the fight with Tyson Fury, since he is going to go right back into the fight with Tyson Fury, is for him to figure out what to do with Tyson Fury. And I don't know if George Foreman is, the type of guy that's going to help him game plan specifically for Tyson Fury. Now, that for me would seem like the more natural selection for that would be guys that actually fight out of Crunk Gym, or maybe some guys that are smaller fighters that are successful and have techniques for dealing with taller fighters. Because Deontay Wilder dealing with Tyson Fury is dealing with something that I don't know if he's ever really dealt with other than Tyson Fury, which is Tyson Fury being taller than him. Like, there was a lot of conversation, and I was thinking about it in the lead up of the fight. This really didn't say a lot about it, but there is the size, the weight of somebody, right? Like Deontay Wilder is oftentimes has people in there that weigh more than him, but very rarely did he have anybody in there that was really bigger than he was, like longer than he is and taller than he is. Because Deontay Wilder's a very, very tall dude. At 6'7", that is definitely at the high end of the heights and lengths of heavyweight champions, right? Not a lot of heavyweight champions in history are longer and taller than Deontay Wilder. So maybe dealing with somebody or talking with somebody who would know how to help Deontay Wilder deal with a size and a length disadvantage, where you have to jab up when you're having to jab up at an opponent, right? Also, I think Deontay Wilder really does need to learn to deal with the roughhousing of Tyson Fury, because that had a lot, the roughhousing had a lot to do with that loss, man, a lot to do with it. And I'm not necessarily talking about the Glovegate thing, right? I'm having fun with the Glovegate thing. See, now we're like a little bit down towards the end of this video, so I can say this because most of y'all don't listen all the way to the end of videos. But look, man, I'm having fun with the Glovegate thing, man. That is just, to me, it's absolute comedy, because you have people who because there's definitely the possibility that Tyson Fury cheated. Okay, it's just there, man. The idea that he could cheat is just, for me, it's not wild, it's not far-fetched, it's none of that. Whether or not his knuckles were at the bottom of that glove or not, dude, I can't really tell. It looks like knuckles and fingers to me. You know what I mean? So I just have a lot of fun with it, man, because, hey, man, it's a fun conversation. I love to talk boxing. I love to get people irritated, man. I really do. Just by saying, look, hey, Tyson Fury could have cheated. Now, don't act like he can't cheat. He tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, okay? Like, you're telling me if it's impossible that the dude could find a way to cheat, it ain't on me. So maybe, I say all that to say, Deontay Wilder needs to find somebody that knows how to recognize, really can watch Tyson Fury and look for all the tricks in the trade, man, because Tyson Fury is going to pull it out, man. There's a video that came out. I think the same guy did it. The same guy did this video, Young Pharaoh, but I also saw it on Dante's Boxing. I saw it on Dante's Boxing Nation because I get all the notifications for Dante's Boxing Nation. And they showed that the guy that Tyson Fury had a fight stopped at the beginning or postponed, delayed, because when he went into the ring, dude, they had snipped. He had on his left hand, they had snipped the connector that allowed his thumb to dangle out. Right now, I don't know if having your thumb dangle out allows you to put your fist in the bottom of the glove or not. I can't I can't say that, but I know that if that thing got clipped, he walked in there with the ability to thumb the guy. So at the very least, man, those gloves were tampered with. Like and it got, by the way, the gloves got into the ring. Okay, the gloves got into the ring. If he hadn't seen that, if he had missed that, hey, man, he would have been fighting with that dude's thumb. He would have been fighting with his thumb out there. Anyway, this man is just like, come on. But anyway, so I think Deontay Wilder also needs to find somebody to help him with that. Anyway, that's the end of this discussion. You let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.